This really started about 4 years ago, and I think what really contributed to it was 14 years ago I had a very bad sinus infection. I went to a ear, nose, and throat specialist, and he put me on a very strong antibiotic, and after 10 days it wasn't working, and he kept me on the same antibiotic for 30 days straight before he finally gave up on it. And since it was the strongest one he was going to use, he said the only thing he can do next would do a surgery to flush whatever it was out. So he put me into a surgery, which it's pretty nasty surgery. He had this big, huge needle, and they put some kind of numbing agent in your nose, and they pop this thing through your bone. And when he did that, I passed out. The next thing I know, I'm having cold, face cloths on my face. and then he proceeded with the procedure after that, and he flushed all this stuff out. And the funny thing is, the infection probably wasn't a bacterial infection to begin with. It's probably a fungal, and the antibiotics was just making it worse. And that's why the only thing he could do is do the saline solution to finally flush it out, and that cleared it. And that's when I started getting all the problems with my gut. It was getting anal itching, and it would come and go, and after a few years it just wouldn't go anymore, and it started getting progressively worse. And looking back, I know that my bodily defenses was pretty low because I was getting stressed out about one of my sons. He's not doing too good in school. I was stressing out about that. I was stressing out about work, and that just contributed. All those things together just did me in. I just recalled that there's another instance. I went to a doctor, and one of my eyes was kind of, getting a lot of mucus in it. And he looks in and said, "Oh, you got this." I forget what he called it. He says, "Mayo in the eye" or something. He called it, and he gives me this real strong antibiotic. And then a week later, I went to an ophthalmologist, and he says, "What did he give you?" He goes, "He gave you that?" He said, "That's a really strong antibiotic. Did you take them?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Don't take them anymore. It's basically antibiotic abuse." He says it's not even bacterial, and he was incredulous. He says, "He gave you that?" He said, "It doesn't look like bacteria to me." It's just another instance of the doctors just prescribing antibiotics without knowing what they're doing. For some reason, I started thinking there must be something else that I can do. And last year I started going to these Jack Canfield seminars, and he's talking about, a positive mindset, law of attraction, and things like that. So I went to his seminar up in Scottsdale last August, and 2 of the mornings he had this guy come down from Sedona. This guy's name is Hale Dwoskin, and he has this method called the Sedona method, where you take your emotional blocks and you release them. And it seemed to be very intriguing to me, because he said you can actually get rid of all these problems you've had. You can actually heal your body from it, and it's basically getting your mind out of the way and let your body doing what it's supposed to do. And it made sense to me, so I signed up for one of his seminars and went up there in December for a week straight. And when I first went there, I was having one of these rash outbreaks, and during the course of that week it subsided pretty much, just from doing all this emotional releasing techniques. And so I've been doing more and more of the emotional release things, and that's pretty much what turned the real corner for me, is basically letting go of all the stress I've been subjecting myself to. As you work on getting rid of the underlying habits which stress you out, your body just naturally gets better. And I've been doing more and more of that. I just started a new technique at a chiropractor uses bioenergetic synchronization technique, which is basically taking and addressing all the stresses you have in your body, which are in your muscles. And a lot of the stress in your muscles, a lot of the tension is caused by these subconscious programs where you're looking out for trouble all the time. And as you let go of the looking out for trouble all the time, your body starts to relax and starts to heal itself. It's basically what's our mental model of disease. It's how do you treat it. There's two different camps. That we have the microbe-based, the microbes cause the disease. That's what the AMA and all the medical establishments say. You get the microbe, kill a microbe, the disease goes. But there's another model that, no, it's not the microbes. The microbes are here anyways. The microbes are beneficial. The microbes are part of the circle of life. Why are you trying to kill those? The only reason the microbes are getting the upper hand is because somehow the body's out of balance. When the body's in balance, the body's naturally healthy. What's causing the imbalance? That's the real question. That's the other model. That's the model that threatens the AMA, because they're microbe-based models. If you look at it from a different vantage point, it's deficient, and they don't like that. And when you address getting the body back in balance through different techniques, you use mental techniques, you can use meditation, you can use, there's some other releasing techniques. You're basically releasing the blockages in the body, the energy blockages, the acupuncture meridian type model the Chinese had for millions, thousands of years. It's very old. When they've mapped that out, they did that before they had any electronic anythings. And more in science, looking at the way they mapped out the meridians, they're saying, wow, they got it right. That's the body's natural energy circuits. It's basically there's like an energy field that we're in. Some people call it auras, and they go, ooh, that's that wooga wooga stuff, auras, oh, I can see your aura. But if you take some electromagnetic sensors, there is an aura. There is a field around you. The heart, if you look at heart math, you can look at heart math up on the internet, and the biggest field's coming out of your heart. It's like a bioenergetic field coming off your heart, and it modulates, based on the heart rate, your thought forms, or your thinking. And it's a much more holistic model of what's really going on. More people wake up to the fact that, the existing medical model's broken. Maybe things will change. I just watched a movie yesterday, The Living Matrix. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. Yeah, if you watch The Living Matrix, it'll open your eyes to what this new model is and how many people are investigating and what they're finding. It's totally amazing.